like he's eating too.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into our early Week 12 Thanksgiving game preview, as we are apparently having a little bit too much fun. Oh my God, Jesse just glitched into the Matrix there.
Oh, he's gone.
There
Don't
he is.
die,
He's
Jesse.
back. He was in some kind of Thanksgiving montage here, and he's glitched right out. This is Aaron St. Dennis at FF Mad Scientist. I'm joined by Jesse Moeller, who is having way too much fun, at JMoeller05, and Jeremy
Beverly D'Angelo.
Oh man,
I am joined by
we go way
Beverly
back, me and Beverly.
She was a Fox back in the day. Jeremy Shulman at
Yes,
FF_Rebel. We are here to attempt to do an NFL Week 12 Thanksgiving game preview, but apparently shit's gone off the rails already. So bear with us. It could get we're having a little too much fun with the background, as you see. My arm doesn't even come up. John Madden somewhere there in my virtual background, and we've got Chevy Chase down there, and Jeremy acting as Beverly D'Angelo. Hey,
it's Christmas vacation, but we got a turkey in there, so we're all good.
It is. You're right. It never dawned on me. I'm like, wait, that's not a Thanksgiving movie. That's a Christmas movie, you fucker.
We got a turkey. It's Thanksgiving. This is as much a Thanksgiving movie as Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I'll tell you that much.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Let's not get that started. Who do you have? Goff, DK, CD, and CMC?
So I don't even, this dude right here that I'm blocking, I have no idea who that is. I think it's maybe like Vernon Davis in the past. No, I don't think so. Maybe it is.
DK, look at the jersey numbers.
Is
that Dez?
No, it's
That's
CD.
Oh, it's CD, of course.
Yeah, that's CD. McCaffrey. Oh, McCaffrey's over here.
Yeah.
Goff in this corner eating the turkey leg. I guess that's DK. It makes sense. It just doesn't look like
it's gotta be. Looks like him, but does he have normal hair or does he have blue hair?
Well, you can't tell. There's a little bit of blue underneath the fucking pilgrim.
Yeah, I think
probably
it's
his hat. Yeah.
We are off to a great start here, everyone. Fucking wonderful. Hopefully by now, by the time you watch this, you're well lubricated with turkey and alcohol. I'm Canadian, so it's just the day off for me. I'm homesick. So we're going to get into this. Got to go live early because, if we go live Thursday at noon, we're in the middle of the game, so preview doesn't do you much good. So we will do them in order here. We've got 4. We have Packers at Lions, followed by Commanders at Cowboys, 49ers at Seahawks, and we wrap it off with the Black Friday Massacre, Dolphins at Jets. That game's so bad, by halftime, people would just say, fuck it and go shopping. You guys do any Black Friday shopping? I don't know about you, but about 10 to 15 years ago, I did a ton of shopping, and between 5 and 10 years ago, I transitioned to where I just said, screw it, and I do it all online now because everyone does all the best ones online. I remember, because I'm Canadian, so we don't get that here. Like, our Friday shopping sucks. I'd load up just to go to the States to buy all the newest video games that are half price and all that, but now I just do all the shopping online, and I don't have to go anywhere. I'm lazy.
Yeah, I like Cyber Monday. Like that fits me way better. Otherwise, I gotta lug my daughter around. I don't want to do that. Black Friday is just chaos.
Yeah, it got tougher with kids too. I'm not gonna lie, and work schedules. So, all right, let's commence the madness. I made these graphics very quickly because we weren't supposed to be doing a show today. So bear with me when the inevitable screw up comes up and Jeremy decides to shit talk me. Look, Jeremy, you're barely even on the screen now. Oh my God.
Hey, look, maybe you'll be able to stand up like he's got a comment.
Yeah, just wait till the comments completely cover Jeremy and then he's non-existent.
I'll just animate Chevy Chase's mouth and it'll look much better anyway.
Just a sec.
Let me roll over in here.
Oh, too funny.
Let's see if I can fix this here.
Oh, yeah, I should probably bring up my
oh, no, he switched his screen right when I did that. I thought he was going to be completely gone with Beverly D'Angelo down there. All right, let's get into it. We have the Packers at the Lions. 4th best matchup for Jordan Love. 4th best matchup for Jared Goff, and I don't care. I haven't even begun. We're so early in the week that I haven't even looked at my expert rankings yet because they don't exist. When I go to my Fantasy Pros expert rankings, it says start with your week 11.
Nobody submitted. Malfunctioned once again.
No, we're not malfunctioning. I muted it because my kid's homesick, and apparently his friend is also homesick, and they've used their sick day to lose their mind on Fortnite in the other room. You couldn't hear the screaming?
No. We were.
I was
All I
wondering,
hear
it sounded like a pterodactyl.
"Ah, stop! I'm down! Ah!" So, anyways, let's attempt this again. Fourth best matchup for Love, 24th best matchup for Goff. I don't have rankings currently done because it's Tuesday. I am still starting Goff as a top 10, I believe, this week. And Jesus Christ, Love is a QB2 for me. What do you guys think of these two?
Yeah, good matchup for Goff. I like it. We roll with Goff. He had a bad game last week. Goff's like QB 14 for me, I think.
I can mute his mic. How do I black out his background?
If only Goff had Calvin Ridley, it would really be special.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just still don't trust Love. Like, he's been better. It's a good matchup and all that, but I just don't think he's good. So I have a hard time trusting him. I get it. Fourth best matchup, all that fun stuff. Like, yeah, I'm still starting Goff over Jordan Love. Like, I'm not going that far. That's a bridge too far, as I say. So that's where I'm at with those two.
I agree with that. The only thing is, the Packers secondary has been pretty decent. They're still giving it up, but Goff hasn't been great. I think that probably correlates with the Gibbs-Monty duo just going off, right? We've seen, St. Brown's going to get his, but we've seen Laporta's numbers go down, and Goff's as well. So it's probably a lot closer than I want to be, but I will go Goff over Love.
All right, running backs. 27th best matchup for the Packers, 11th for the Lions. The Packers, I don't really want to start anyone. Aaron Jones coming off an injury on a short week. A.J. Dillon, I guess if I'm pressed into it as an emergency flex if Jones is out. Gibbs and Montgomery are even scary. I'm starting both of them. I think I'm going to be, when I do get to my rankings, probably not till tomorrow, I think. I think I'm going to have them both in the RB2 range. I think I'm going to have Montgomery higher just because of the touchdown equity, but I think they're both going to be somewhere around 15 for me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, the one thing I would say about this is that, Gibbs is seeing some goal line work, right? And that wasn't the case earlier in the year. They're trusting him everywhere. I think it's one of those things where they love Montgomery. Wait, hang on. Let me get the real star of the show in here. It's one of those things where they love Montgomery so much, kind of like a Jamal Williams situation, but you just can't deny Gibbs. So they're both going to get the work in around the goal line. But, on the other end, I'm starting both of them well over A.J. Dillon for sure.
Oh, yeah. If you're, I don't know why you would be starting Dillon over them. Agreed. This guy does suck. But yeah, Gibbs is really good. It's the pass catching volume. Like, that's what we're chasing in PPR leagues. Like, I'm going to have him ranked above Monty. And he's seeing more snaps. Even Monty came back. He was at 40% of snaps. Gibbs was at like 56. So, like, it's Gibbs' world. We're living in it. He's RB1 rest of the season. Like, you fire up Gibbs, no questions asked. You're right. Monty will probably be like RB15.
But does this not – I agree. Gibbs is better, but doesn't this seem like these Thanksgiving games, doesn't this just seem like a 3-touchdown home Lions game on Thanksgiving type day? Yep. I get it. All the data and everything I know says Gibbs should be better, but Montgomery just seems to be the touchdown vulture every fucking. It's like owning DeAndre Swift and just knowing Jalen Hurts is inevitably going to vulture goal line touchdowns. It's just it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, even with those touchdowns that Monty got, like Gibbs still outscored him last week. So like that's kind of where I'm at with the two of them. Like it's just so much easier for him to like get more fancy points. Moss needs touchdowns. Gibbs necessarily doesn't.
It's Kamara Ingram, right? This is the real guy. We got the real one here. Yeah, I know, love it. It's Kamara Ingram, right? Like it's the same sort of situation. They're both currently RB1s, I believe, still because they both had big games last week. So you can't deny either of them. And look, they should both score a touchdown in this one, right? So fire them up. It's much better after last week, that's for sure. Although I only started him in like 25% of leagues.
Nobody started him. It's like Mike Evans in the playoffs last year. Great. You know what's going to happen, right? He's going to go from. I think I looked at his start percentage last week. It was insanely low. I don't have it on me. It was like 18%. Now it's going to be 73% when he goes back to putting up a dud because this is what happens in fantasy football.
So boom bust.
Yeah, wide receivers, 11th best matchup for to play Green Bay receiver roulette. And on the Lions side, we have the 24th best matchup, but I don't care because there's only one receiver I'm starting. I'm starting St. Brown easily as probably a top 6 here. Jameson Williams, I don't mind starting as a desperation flex. I'm putting him as Gabe Davis light here. Every couple of games, he seems to break loose for a broken coverage long touchdown, but I don't really want to start him. Dobbs, Watson, Reed, I will start any of them as a wide receiver 3 and just pray I get the one who turns into a wide receiver 2. I'd much prefer Dobbs. I would say Dobbs, Reed, and then I have Watson and Wicks kind of similar, although Wicks is basically poor man's Jameson Williams, who is poor man's Dave Davis. So take that for what it's worth. Really, I'm easily firing up St. Brown, and I'm probably starting Dobbs as a wide receiver 2. And then the rest of them, I think, are just pray they get the touchdown. But it's Thanksgiving. Crazy shit has been known to happen. Okay, I have an interesting thing before we get into that, and I heard it on. I'm close to Detroit, so I get Detroit sports radio here. And what their take was, and I never thought of it this way. It applies more so to Thanksgiving because they're earlier game times, but Thursday games in general, their take is take the boring players, the guys who are schemed up for the crazy shit like the Debo and that. On this was actually they have TJ Lang, the old Packer and Lion. He does one of their daytime shows, and he was saying from an inside point of view on Thursdays on the short rest, their schemes on offense and defense are incredibly boring and incredibly bland and vanilla, and it's just really simple because on the short rest or the short practice week, you don't have time for these elaborate, crazy looks. And from a fantasy, like I tried to look at the implications of that for fantasy, and it kind of holds true because you see the guys who are good are the guys like Montgomery who just get the boring, bland goal line work. Whereas, the guys with the exotic looks and the crazy touches, they tend to have bad games on these short weeks because it's a really bland, vanilla game. So I don't know if you guys ever considered that. I never thought of it that way. Like, go to the boring players on Thursday because these game plans are really boring on the short weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They're gonna play what they're comfortable with and what they know as an offense, right? They're not gonna integrate those, like you're talking about, elaborate play calls or mix it up too much. So you bet on the good guys that we trust. And unfortunately, the Packers do not have very many of them. Like this.
Yeah,
season.
it doesn't really hold true in this matchup because there is no just boring vanilla option against like the Debo crazy scheme option.
Yeah, it's like I'll have Dubs probably is the highest with Watson and Reed, but like it's gonna be those three like grouped together in my rankings again. It's so hard to pick which guy's going off in that week. Maybe you look into like zone versus man coverage and predict it a little bit, but it's really just throwing a dart at one of those guys because one of those guys is gonna pop. It's just good luck telling which one it is.
Yeah, and in this case, I really want to play Reed, but you got Branch on the other end, right? Like, so you just really don't know who's going to pop off. It's probably a Watson week, but you can't bet on that. So just start St. Brown and, maybe JMO over these guys and just pray for the touchdown. I don't know. They're all dart throws at this point other than St. Brown.
St. Brown, Dobbs for me. And then I think I want Reed and then Watson, Williams, and Wicks. That's a lot of W's. The WWW, they're all just kind of dart throws together. But we have one that will impact us in the last game we do. Jets signed Trevor Siemian to the active roster. So do you think that's just strictly as a backup? They can't plan on starting him, right?
Well, yeah, because Zach Wilson was promoted to QB3, right? So they were like, Zach, you are not playing in this game no matter what. Yeah, if he plays
I think they're going to give really. Yeah, I think they're going to give Boyle the week and then see what he can do. But it's very likely that Siemian in the next game or two becomes the starter.
Nothing like making a QB change on a short practice week. Brilliant time to do it there.
But Simeon's like a veteran. He knows a lot of simple stuff. So you can throw him in as a backup and he can give you a little bit of spark. But yeah, like I doubt they're going to start him. That seems pretty crazy to me for them to do that.
Tight end matchup: 13th best for Musgrave, 19th best for Laporta. I don't care. Laporta is a top 5 or 6 for me, I'm assuming. Musgrave is probably a high-end tight end too. I don't mind starting him if I have to. The kickers, Patterson's a decent option, even though it's a middle-of-the-pack matchup. Carlson hasn't been great, and it hasn't been a great matchup. I'm benching him. I don't really want to start either DST here. Better matchup for the Lions, having said that their pass defense is terrible. So I'm starting Laporta. I can start Musgrave if I have to. Start Patterson and avoid both defenses. What do you guys think?
Yeah, makes sense. Like, if I'm playing defense, I'm taking the Lions at home. Like, I'm just going to trust with their defense. At home, like in a short week, like it's just easier matchup with both teams. The Lions like seem to play pretty well on these Thanksgiving games, so like I would have bet on that a little bit.
He's so bad I don't even spell his name right when I insult him. Clavin Ridley.
Clavin Ridley, good old Clavin. But I think the Lions are just going to do their best to kind of just pound the rock. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see 35 rushing attempts from the Lions, and they get maybe like Craig Reynolds involved for
this
5,
is
6.
absolutely not related to any of these games, but interesting. The Colts are releasing former All-Pro Shaq Leonard.
It's got to be the injuries. It's got to be the injuries. Yeah. Like he's had a ton of injuries over the course of the last couple
absolutely not related to any of these games, but I just you tend to get breaking news. That's definitely one that's worth discussing.
Where's he going? Is the question.
A contender, I would assume.
He's a Baltimore. He's a Baltimore head.
It's like the last 2 years have been nonstop injuries.
No, but I mean, is he currently healthy? Like, could he play? If I thought he was healthy, but I don't know.
I don't know actually.
All right, next up, we have Commanders at Cowboys. This is going to be a bloody massacre. What was the third game? I think out of the 4 games we're previewing, the Lions and Packers might be the closest one. And I don't even think the Lions-Packers are that close. I think the Lions win by double digits, but like all 4 of these games, Cowboys should handle the Commanders. 49ers should kill the Seahawks. That one might be close-ish, but Dolphins, Jets, like these could be some ugly games.
The Cowboys are the biggest favorite, 11 points of all the games.
It's a good excuse to drink heavily. I mean, as if spending the day with your family wasn't enough reason to drink heavily, but that's another story. So we have Commanders, Cowboys, middle of the pack matchups here. Howell 18th best, Prescott 16th best. I'm starting both. I far prefer Prescott this week. I feel like he's probably going to be top 5 or 6 for me. Howell's still probably top 10 or 12. The Commanders are only the 18th best matchup. I feel like that's going the other way, though, because they've been bad lately. So Dak top 5 or 6. Howell still top 12, probably top 10. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we just saw DeVito go 20-plus points, right?
We have no buys this weekend.
Quarterback 7, Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, so Dak's gonna be a top 4 option. Like I'm firing him up everywhere. This defense is atrocious. They can't stop anyone. So realistically, I'm firing up every Cowboy possibly can. Like I want all my Cowboys in the lineup in this week because I expect numerous amount of points for them. So
look at the matchup rankings here. There's a lot of good ones. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So you start Dak.
Start Howell too, though, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think Howell's fine. Like, it's just the defense is so much better. So, like, we had kind of issues last week with Howell. Like, we'll probably run into that this week. But he still put up a decent fantasy game. It's just, sometimes he just has those lower games.
He's throwing the ball 50 times a game, Sam. 45 times a game, legit. That's what he's throwing the ball. So
we're gonna play set my lineup again because I'm a professional like that. In this case, you have to pick 2. I have Lamar, Howell, and CJ Stroud this week because I lost my mind and I'm in a win now mode. So I just traded away Joe Burrow to get CJ Stroud.
That's wild. I mean, I prefer CJ Stroud.
Well, no, I got Burrow, I got Stroud and Sutton, and I gave up Burrow and Zay Flowers. But I'm in a win now and don't plan on playing next year. So
there you go. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I'd prefer Stroud. Just
you got to play Stroud against Arizona for sure.
Stroud, you got to play.
Stroud, Lamar, and Howell start too. So I got to sit.
Lamar. I just looked it up. It's Cincy.
Yeah. So Stroud's the must play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going Lamar.
Yeah. So sit Howell. Okay.
I would.
Yeah, I'd sit Howell. Lamar's too good. It's so hard to fade Lamar.
Did you have any additional takes here? I never got to you on the quarterbacks, Jeremy.
It's got to be Dak. I mean, Dak's going to absolutely crush. The only concern, as we've talked about the last few weeks, is him getting sat down in the fourth quarter. But otherwise, that's probably good for him. And we know now that Washington has no pass rush because they traded them all away. So, if Deron Payne is the worst you're worried about coming after you, then, you're going to be okay. You'll be able to handle him on the inside, and Dak's going to go off. So Dak well above Howell for me this week.
That's the only thing that I think might make this closer is the fact that Dak might be on the bench and Sam Howell may be attempting to throw to make up a 20-point deficit. But this Sam Howell having to pass the ball a ton tells me I want to start the Dallas DST, and I probably want to start Deron Bland, because if ever there was a scenario that perfectly set up for him to set an NFL record with his 5th pick six, it's starting Sam Howell or starting him against Sam Howell in a game where Sam Howell is going to have to throw 50 times.
Well, and here's the thing is that Howell threw 3 picks last week to the Giants D, right? So when you have a much better defense back there and you have guys like McLaurin and Dotson, Samuel in and out, who knows how those guys are feeling, but their season is over. So, I expect multiple picks in this one.
Yeah, I would say take the over on any time interception for Sam Howell. Yeah. It's going to happen. Maybe multiple.
Is that even on the board anymore?
I mean, maybe 2. Like, he really just go for it.
When you know how they offer their free square every once in a while, and it's like a yard and a half, and it's just a given. The free square on Sam Howell is over 1.5 interceptions because it's just assumed he's still throwing 2. So,
right.
Running backs, we have the second worst matchup for Washington and the best matchup for Pollard. Pollard once again is going to be a smash. Brian Robinson, I think I'm still starting as an RB2. I want nothing to do with Dowdle or Gibson. I don't think Gibson's healthy, but I think you're still starting both. Obviously, it's Pollard over Robinson. You guys think? What do you think?
Yeah, the game script's too good for Pollard. Like, Robinson's been awesome. Like, you can't really fade him, but in this game, like, I do worry about just his upside and how good it's going to be. Like, they need Howell to be good for him to get that game script and get those 20+ points you're looking for. So, but yeah, you're firing up Robinson as like a mid-range RB2.
I'm zoomed out here, and I'm having some real freaking nightmares here with your green screens. On Jeremy's, I feel like all I'm talking to is Chevy Chase because you're so far down there. And on yours, I look up and all I see is those stupid pilgrim hats. And it's I keep thinking I'm looking at the stupid trailer for that new movie, the Thanksgiving horror movie, where they're all fucking wearing the stupid pilgrim hats. So your green screens are fucking with me. And then I see sorry, running backs.
No, yeah, like Pollard is, he's looking at easily a high-end RB2 at worst, I think, this week. And then Brian Robinson, you hope he's getting to high-end RB2 just because of the matchup. But, I think both of these guys are really close with the edge to Pollard.
All right. Receivers, 4th best matchup for Dallas, 3rd worst matchup for the Commanders. You are smashing CD Lamb at this point. He is a top probably 3 for me when the rankings come out, if not higher. I don't really want to start Cooks unless I'm desperate. No to Gallup. On the Commanders side, I will still probably play McLaurin as a low-end 2, somewhere in the 2 range. Dotson and Samuel as 3s or flexes. So for me, it's Lamb, McLaurin, Dotson, flip a coin between Samuel and Cooks, and that's it. You guys?
Yeah, I'm curious. Didn't Samuel get ejected last week? So, like, I don't know what the situation is for this game, if he's going to be suspended more or anything like that, but yeah.
Did you guys see that Denver was a Kareem Jackson? 4 games for a cheap shot, comes back, 4 games for a cheap shot. I was like, is he not learning? That's wild. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, his teammate was like, this is ridiculous. And he was like making excuses for it. It's like, dude, he took his head, planted it straight into the dude's chest. Yeah, I know. I was like,
if you're his teammate at this point, aren't you like, dude, smarten the fuck up? Like, really?
Yeah, like, this isn't the 1990s. Like, you can't play this ball anymore, dude.
He lowers his helmet and launches himself into a defenseless player. How do you defend this?
You can't.
It's like, yeah, he's being held up too. It's just brutal. But yeah, like, I'll play McLaurin.
Yes, he's being held up by his other teammate. Like,
yeah.
It's an execution.
It was rough, that dog play. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, don't take dog from us. We love us some Josh Dobbs, so don't take it. But yeah, like, McLaurin's going to be the wide receiver you start. He's their best wide receiver. He's been the most involved. All the things that you're looking for. And if Howell's thrown it 50 times, like, he's going to have
top wide receivers. I'll be 1 second.
Yeah, no, it's good. And then, like I'm still gonna rank Dotson above Samuel, even though it's been a very rough year for Dotson, and that's saying it politely. Like I would honestly like almost debate going Cooks over Dotson at this point in the game, just because like that I know that's where I'm at with it. It's just I don't know. How are you ranking those two this week?
Between Dotson and anyone else?
Yeah, would you start Cooks over Dotson?
No, I'd probably start Gallup over Cooks, to be honest. Like Cooks just isn't seeing enough volume, and I think Gallup is that boom bust guy for this offense. He's like kind of the Mike Williams. He's finally healthy. But no, honestly, like in this matchup, I want Lamb, McLaurin, and then I'd prefer to take the shots at the tight ends as opposed to the rest of the wide receivers.
Yeah, because like we look at the matchup, right? It's the number one tight end matchup. So yeah, you're playing Ferguson. He's a mid-range tight end one in this league. Like, I had him on the bench in one league, and I'm like, nope, I'm firing him this week. He is definitely starting. Like, there's going to be a touchdown coming as well.
And this is a
I wasn't planning on doing another show here, and I'm well past lunch, and the blood sugar's dropping, so you get to watch me eat a donut. But tight ends, we have the best matchup for Ferguson, who I think I'm playing as a low-end one. 23rd best matchup for Logan Thomas, who I'm still starting, like you said, over some of these receivers. The kickers, I'm starting Aubrey even in a mediocre matchup. Sly, I'm never playing. And the defenses, I am smashing the Cowboys. They are probably my DST1. They will score a touchdown, and I am not touching the Commanders, who may be my DST 30 or 32 on the week. I think this one's pretty easy on the tail end.
I don't know why anyways. They got to be manic if you're really trying to play the Commanders. That's the only way. Like, just what are you doing? Don't do it. Yeah. Just avoid them.
Although I did play them last week to success because they played the Giants. So,
and of course, the Giants defense was putting up all the points.
Yeah, they were. Should have played the Giants D for sure.
Right.
I have seen I play in a 32-team league, and you're only allowed to roster. We have strict limits, like you can't hoard positions. So each team was given only one DST, and the guy who has Washington said, "I'm just not playing my DST this week. I'll just take a 0."
The Commander had 9 sacks of Tommy DeVito, so got me some 9 points. So hey,
so that one's a pretty easy one to wrap. Next up, we have the final, the Thanksgiving night game, which most of us will be too exhausted and intoxicated to care about.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Well, you're a Seahawks fan, then nobody else cares. Well, by halftime, you're going to be too drunk to care about this too, because the Seahawks are down 25.
Yeah, my blood sugar is going to be going real well for Thanksgiving. Let me tell you what.
I hear you. So quarterbacks, it's not great for either. 18th best for Purdy, 29th best for Geno Smith. Who's the backup if it's not Smith?
It's Drew Lock. And it's
awful. I knew that. That's I selectively blocked that out. It's Drew Lock. Oh,
we saw it. We saw how as soon as he came in, I go, Seahawks are going to lose. And yeah,
how hammered are you going to be if this is Drew Lock?
Who else is on the roster, Jesse?
It's just like some scrub dude. He's just like I can't remember his name. He's played in the preseason. He's a lefty. I'm blanking on his name, but people like him up here because he did good in the preseason. And I'm like, you saw Drew Lock in the preseason. Like it's not just
people like him.
Drew Lock.
People like him because he's not Drew Lock. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know who he is, but I'm starting him over Drew Lock.
He's not. Yeah, he's not even on sleeper. I got to go to the actual Seahawks depth chart to find his name. It's like Alex Magoo or something. Hold on, let me look.
Oh, it is. It's Alex Magoo.
Yeah. At least he's got a better name. There's also there's another name too. There's one other guy. Hold on. Yeah, no, it's Derek Young. That's no. He's the wide receiver. No, it's nobody.
No, that's a receiver. Yeah.
They don't have another guy listed, so Magoo's probably on the practice squad.
How do you spell Magoo? I need to look this guy.
Like Mr.
McGough.
G.
I like the MCGOO. Like it should just be that.
It's McGoo. Oh no.
Yeah, like McGoo. Yeah.
Oh,
in fact, I'm looking it up here.
Well, I don't actually remember who it is. I think it's
Alex Magoo is on Green Bay.
There's a lefty that they had. I
don't have anyone listed on the 4-for-4 depth chart.
We want to know who it is. We just picked up Brett Rippon on the practice squad. So we got Brett Rippon.
Oh, I read that. You're right. They were talking about how every defensive player on their DST or their defense has been asking him questions all week because he just came from the The Rams. Oh no,
Rams.
sorry, that was last week.
Yeah.
They
No,
did.
but,
They
like, I
signed
told
him
him
before
the time,
last
I
week.
completely forgot. I was like, oh yeah, they showed him on the game. I was like, well, it's not Magoo. Who is it? Yeah. So yeah, we don't want that either. So
So it'd
we're
be Brett
playing
Ripken.
because I would just smash the over if Locke's gonna play for.
Pray for Gino. Can
So-
Jake Bobo throw it? That's the real question. Can Bobo
I'm
take the
playing
snap?
Purdy as a QB 2, probably high end 2. Gino as a mid range 2 if he plays. I don't think he will, and I'm not touching anyone on this team if Gino's not playing.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be terrifying. Like we
Yeah.
saw how the game just unraveled against San Francisco in the playoffs. Entirely in the range of outcomes. Like,
Do you
they were in
realize that we are on pace for our four game preview to go longer than our full week preview at this
Love
rate?
it.
It's turkey time, baby. We're on that slow trip to fan trip. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
Tuesday. I haven't had any turkey yet. All right, running
Soon to
backs.
come.
Fifth best matchup for McCaffrey, tied for fifth best matchup there for Charbonnet. It's going to be Charbonnet and McIntosh. That is what I think. McCaffrey is going to be my RB1 on the week. Charbonnet, I will fire up as probably a RB2 around 15, I think. I could see him as high as 12 or as low as 15, depending on some of the matchups. Like I said, I haven't done my rankings, so that's how I see it. McCaffrey's the
No
one.
buys, right?
No buys.
Yeah, I'm going back.
And then we have 6 next week, the week before, and like the second last week of the fantasy playoffs.
Week 13 is brutal.
And they're good teams too on bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun.
McCaffrey though,
Yeah.
RB1.
Yeah, I mean it's just
Probably,
McCaffrey. He's going against the Seahawks defense that has struggled against giving up points to running backs, as you can tell. So yeah, McCaffrey's just gonna be McCaffrey. He's gonna minimum 20 points. He could have a ceiling game. It wouldn't shock me. Yeah, Charbonnet's gonna get a lot of volume. Like, I'm fine with like I'm firing him up if I have him. I'm not gonna put him at like RB50. I'll put him closer to RB20 just because I'm not exactly sure how good this offense is gonna be, and I am worried about Geno Smith. Like, there is the underlying concern with that. So he's dropping a little bit, but he's gonna get volume and he's gonna be good, and he's a better pass catcher than Walker. So like, you get the little upside that way. So yeah, he's gonna be like RB20, like a low end RB2 for me in this matchup. So you could definitely fire him up.
Yeah, and I might even consider McIntosh over Mitchell this week, just because he could get some of the receiving work, and if Drew Lock is in there, he's not throwing it downfield more than like 7-8 yards if he's smart, and the coaches are smart here. So
we haven't.
McIntosh could be in PPR play.
Yeah, he hasn't played a snap in the regular season yet, so it's going to be a mystery how he plays. So everyone's like, "Oh yeah," they said in the comments. I'm like, "Bro, he hasn't played a snap all season." Like,
RB1.
Let's hold up here. Yeah.
15th best matchup as well. That's funny that they're and I double checked the graphics. They're right that they're tied for running back and wide receiver matchups.
That's weird.
Whatever. So we have Debo and Ayuk. I prefer Ayuk. I think Ayuk's a wide receiver 2 for me. Debo's a low end 2. I think if I look at my rankings when they come up, all 4 of these guys in Metcalf, Lockett, Samuel, and Ayuk are gonna rank somewhere between 18 and 24. JSN probably too. I might have 5 here in this game that all rank as low end 2s, high end 3s. What do you guys? I think I like Ayuk the best, then Metcalf, then Lockett and Jigba Debo. I don't know. I don't know how to rank this one, but I know it's Ayuk for sure. Ayuk, Metcalf for sure for me, and then the other 3 I don't really know how to rank.
Like the Metcalf and Debo are going to be pretty close for me. I'm going to have Ayuk ahead of both of those guys just because Ayuk's been exceptional all season. Like, he's been really good. He can have those blow-up games like he had last week. And then Metcalf and Ayuk are going to be those low-end, like, wide receiver 2s. And then it's Lockett, and then a tier down, it's just Jackson. He's just not playing enough, and it's seeing enough stuff. So, like, until that changes, like, JSN's just going to be fifth of the group.
Yeah, and I think Ayuk has the I don't know what the cutoff is in terms of number of targets or receptions, but his yards per reception is insane. I think he had 5 catches last week and went for over $150. So, Ayuk is just balling out. He does it in the most efficient way possible. So he's the clear one. But yeah, I'm Ayuk, probably Metcalf, Lockett, and then Debo. You just can't trust him. He could boom on you. But, you never know when he's going to bust as well.
Yeah, he's got 43 targets for 131 yards. So, yeah, he's like 19 yards a clip per reception.
Yeah,
It's like Jamar Chase rookie season.
Yeah.
Tight ends, 20th best matchup for Kittle. I don't care. He's going to be top 5 for me.
Yeah.
Third worst for Fant. Wasn't playing him anyways. At kicker, middle of the pack matchup for Moody, who you can play if you have to. Myers, I'm avoiding. I am avoiding the Seahawks DST 100%. The Niners, I could be talked into playing. I would avoid them if I could, depending on who they have. Oh, okay. This is contingent. If it's not Geno Smith, they might like if it's Drew Lock, they're my DST2 behind the Cowboys. If it is Geno, they're probably closer to 10 or 12. I could still play them, but I don't know. They're not my favorite option. But this, like I said, I don't know. I don't expect Geno to play. And if Geno doesn't play, they're number 2 behind the Cowboys easily. But I don't know. What do you think?
They can be QB1 or they can be defensive 1. Like Drew Lock's awful, so they could easily be the defensive 1 to start. Like you just fire them up. That's what it is.
Yeah. And divisional matchups are usually a little bit lower scoring as well. So just something to consider, but nothing that's really going to change any of your start sit decisions.
Okay. He has Josh Allen, who's on a bye the first week of their playoffs.
He is, yeah. I noticed that.
That's brutal.
Okay, so does he trade Connor and Cooper for Purdy and Stevenson?
Just do it anyway. Just make that trade anyway.
Yeah.
Trent Brown is back this week. That means massive things for Stevenson, and they don't really know who their quarterback is in New England. So Ramondre is just going to get as much as he can handle. I would do that trade.
Yeah, he's definitely above Connor for me. So yeah, I really don't. Murray doesn't do much for me, unfortunately.
And you get Purdy.
It's a win-win. Because you can't trust Bryce Young. As fun as it is, I'm not trusting Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And then it also is 6-point passing touchdown. So I'm supposed to Purdy.
Yeah, you got to do that deal. Right now. Smash it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm trying to point to you, but you're on the other side.
He's not picture, but that's something Chase's Randy Quaid would say in this movie. Got a Purdy mouth.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you need to add the video of that just on the screen real quick.
Good God. All right, let's wrap it up here. I'm losing steam here. We will have the Black Friday massacre. It will truly be a Black Friday on this one. Dolphins at Jets. Dolphins 20th best can't talk. 20th best.
What is it?
I'm fading, guys. I can't get this out. Dolphins have the 20th best matchup for Tua. Tim Boyle, the 12th best. I'm not starting any Jets quarterback, and I'm still firing up Tua as a top 6 here. God, I made that way too difficult. You guys talk about it. I need to drink.
I'm a bit worried when Tua goes against good defenses. His numbers have been significantly worse, so the Jets defense is a good defense. That's the one part of their team that's still very good. So I do worry about Tua this week. I'm going to drop him a little bit rank. He'll probably be closer to QB10 for me, just based on the matchup. And Miami's kind of struggles down the stretch. So, yeah, you're obviously still firing up Tua unless you have one of the elite quarterbacks. But if you're trying to decide between him and someone like Purdy or in that range, I'm just going to play Tua over that. That's kind of the cutoff line for Tua for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And the only real consideration is the thing to wonder about Tim Boyle is whether or not he needs to face Jalen Ramsey or if Ramsey's going to sit this one out because he fell on the ball last week. Either way, he's going to throw multiple picks. You're going to love starting that Dolphins D this week. And Tua is just, I'm not too scared of it, but he is further down the rankings this week.
All right, running backs. 9th best matchup for. What did I do here?
Jesse is like in an episode of Grey's Anatomy at the moment. We're getting all the doctor chatter.
So I'm starting Mostert here and assuming that Achane is out, and I'm also starting Breece Hall, and that I want nothing to do with anyone else. I guess. Yeah. What do you guys think? Mostert, Hall? Anybody else?
Yeah. Speaking of doctors, I just messed up my neck, so yeah, I can find one of those. But I do worry if Boyle is starting now for Breece Hall, I'm not sure where to rank Breece. He's going to get the volume. You're basically counting him to make explosive plays and be better than this offense is. So as good as Breece Hall is, I am worried. I'm going to play Mostert over him. I'm just going to trust in the volume that Mostert's seeing, and I can't talk. So, I'm just make the decision now, Mostert over Hall.
Yeah, agree. Nothing else to add. Mostert. Overhaul.
All righty. Wide receivers. We have Tyreek Hill is an easy one to start. He's a top 5 or 6. Wilson and Waddle. I think I will play both as low end wide receiver 2s, and I want nothing to do with anyone else. What do you guys think?
Where are you guys ranking Wilson? Because it is rough for Garrett Wilson right now.
It's been really bad. And
22?
Ramsey's in there. So
He's
further down.
Kind of like Devontae and those guys where it's just like that QB play. But yeah, at least Devontae is getting supported. Like Garrett Wilson, we saw last week, he ran that corner out wide open, didn't even see the ball through his fins and the arms and the way. I was like, yeah, it's just unfortunate. Like he's such a good talent. But yeah, like I'm gonna have Tyreek and Waddle above Wilson. Wilson will be he'll be that like low end wide receiver 2, high wide receiver 3. And then nobody else. Like you don't want anyone else.
Oh, for sure. And the one thing I'll say about Hill is like I don't care who he's going against. Like I don't care that it's soft. Like you just fire him up and he's gonna explode. Maybe he'll catch a few fewer passes than usual. But he's still in the wide receiver 1 conversation. Doesn't matter to me who he's facing.
Tight ends, top 12. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say because like the difference is from him, like someone like Diggs, he has a just completely different gear where it doesn't matter who's guarding him, he can still take it to the house. So yeah, like you just always fire up Hill.
Yeah, speed kills.
Top 12 matchup for both tight ends. I'm not starting either. Conklin, if you're desperate, is all right. Sanders and Zerline, one good matchup, one bad matchup. I'm not starting either. I'd love to start the Dolphins here. Probably going to be a top 5 or 6 for me this week. There seem to be a lot of really prime matchups, a lot of bad quarterbacks, but I want no part of the Jets DST. What do you guys think to end it off here?
Yeah, like it's rough. Like with that offense, it puts them in such a bad position to begin with. Like you're gonna be chasing field position, you're gonna be chasing points. It kind of snowballs. So even how good as defense they are, like they get dropped in the rankings because it's tough when you have an in-app quarterback, which they've had all season. So you see some of these games, like that Buffalo game, they got the nose blown off. So that is definitely the range of outcomes. So they'll be lower for me for sure. Like not really a defense I want to play.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Jeremy, you're muted. I don't know what you said there, Tanda. Oh, okay. Gotcha. It's all right. All right. Well, we understood that. Thank you for tuning in to our preview of the Thanksgiving games. Not sure the exact schedule. Like I said, Thanksgiving's throwing everything into chaos. We might get you some of the remaining previews early tomorrow instead. If not, check back for our Twitter. We'll be live again Wednesday or Thursday for the remaining game previews for Aaron, Jesse, and Jeremy. Thank you for tuning in to the Max 19 podcast.